Hello, cherished learners. Welcome to EMS Basic Lessons. In our previous episode, we learned how to add and subtract mixed fractions with the same denominators. I hope you were able to solve the examples I gave to you and the exercises as well. To those who were not able to solve it, better luck next time. I encourage you to keep watching my videos and keep practicing, as practice makes man perfect. In today's episode, we are learning how to add and subtract mixed fractions with different denominators. Yes, mixed fractions with different denominators. It's very simple. Let's start by solving this example on the board. We have 3 whole number, 2 out of 5, plus 2 whole number, 1 out of 3. In mathematics, we can use several methods to solve this question, but I want us to look at the simplest method. And the simplest method I'm giving to you today is first to add the whole numbers and add your answer or findings to the fraction. Let's look at it. So we have 3 whole number plus 2 whole number, and then add it to our fractions. That is 2 out of 5 and 1 out of 3. To make it simple, we can put the fraction into a bracket. Let's continue. 3 plus 2 gives us 5. Plus, we are now coming to solve our fraction as we solved in our first episode, addition and subtraction of fractions. I hope you remember. We are going to change the denominators to have the same denominator, or for them to be like. How do we solve it? We multiply the second denominator by the first fraction as 2 out of 5 times 3 out of 3, close bracket, plus, and then multiply the first denominator by the second fraction. That is 1 out of 3 times 5 out of 5. I hope it's very simple. Let's continue. So we have our 5 whole number plus 2 times 3. Don't forget, in multiply fraction, you multiply the numerators and denominators. So 2 times 3 is 6 out of 5 times 3, 15. Then our plus 1 times 5, which is 5 out of 3 times 5, 15. What can we see over here? We can see that our fractions are with the same denominators of 15. Isn't it interesting? Very interesting. Don't forget that in addition and subtraction of fractions with the same denominators, we said that you are to add the denominators and pick only one denominator. So we have our 5 whole number. Please don't forget your whole number. It's very important. Always remember to move with the whole numbers. Plus 6 plus 5, all out of 15. To continue, we have the 5 whole number plus 11 out of 15. 11 out of 15. No number can divide both the numerator and denominator. Therefore, we add it or join it to the whole number. That is 5 whole number, 11 out of 15. It's very simple. Let's look at our second example. 12 whole number, 1 out of 4, plus 5 whole number, 2 out of 3. How do we solve this question? We are going to use the same method we used in our first example to solve this question. In our first example, we said that we have to add the 2 whole numbers and add it to the 2 fractions. So we have 12 plus 5 plus 1 out of 4 plus 2 out of 3. I hope you are following. For us not to be confused, let's put our fractions into a bracket. So we have 12 plus 5 giving us 17 plus, now in addition of fraction, again we multiply the first fraction by the second denominator. That is 1 out of 4 times our second denominator, which is 3 out of 3. Please, the denominators are multiplying all the fractions. Take note, the denominator here is multiplying the numerator here and the denominator here. So it's the same thing. Then plus 2 out of 3 times our first denominator. That is 4 out of 4. Please don't forget your whole number. 17 plus 1 times 3, which gives us 3. 4 times 3, which gives us 12. So we have 3 out of 12 plus 2 times 4, which gives us 8 out of 3 times 4, which gives us 12. Let's again put a fraction into a bracket in order not to be confused. We have the same denominator. So our 17, please don't forget the whole number once again, plus 3 plus 8, all out of 12. Let's continue here. So we have our 17 plus 3 plus 8, giving us 11 out of 12. Now, we cannot reduce this fraction. So, we add the whole number to the fraction. So we have 17 whole number, 11 out of 12. Isn't it simple? Very simple. Another example with respect to subtraction. In our previous examples, we solved with addition. Now, we are going with subtraction. And the method hasn't changed. But there will be a slight changes. Let's go. We continue to subtract. We subtract the whole numbers. What is the question? We have 4 whole number, 5 out of 6, minus 1 whole number, 1 out of 4, So we subtract the whole numbers as 4 whole number minus 1 whole number and add it to our fractions. Please, we are subtracting the whole numbers and add it to our fractions as plus 5 out of 6 minus 1 out of 4. Please note, we subtract the whole number, we subtract the fraction, and add the two together. That is why we have this addition sign here. Again, we subtract the whole numbers, we subtract the fractions, and add the whole number to the fractions. Thank you. In order for us not to be confused, we put the fraction into a bracket. So 4 minus 1 gives us 3 plus, we have different denominators. How do we solve it in a way that we get the same denominators? We use the first fraction to multiply the second denominator. So 5 out of 6 times 4 out of 4 minus our second fraction multiplied by the first denominator. 1 out of 4 times 6 out of 6. It's getting interesting, right? Let's continue. Please don't forget your whole number. So we have 3 whole number plus 5 times 4, 20 out of 6 times 4, 24 minus. So we have 1 times 6 giving us 6 out of 4 times 6 giving us 24. Very interesting, right? In order not to be confused, let's put our fractions into a bracket. We have the same denominators. So what do? We work out our numerators and write only one denominator. But please don't forget to continue with your whole numbers or whole number. So we have 3 plus 20 minus 6 all out of 24. 3 plus 20 minus 6 giving us 14 out of 24. Is there any way we can reduce the fraction? Yes. 3 plus 2 here, 7. 2 here, 12. So we have 7 out of 12. This fraction can no longer be reduced. So we add it to the whole number. That is 3 whole number, 7 out of 12. Very simple. Let's look at our final example for the day. So in our final example for the day, we have 3 whole number, 4 out of 5, minus 2 whole number, 3 out of 8. We subtract our whole numbers first, and then subtract our fractions and add the two answers together. So we have 3 whole number minus 2 whole number plus 4 out of 5 minus 3 out of 8. We subtract our whole numbers, we subtract our fractions and we add the two answers together. Hence the addition here. 3 minus 2 gives us 1 plus first fraction multiplying second denominator. 4 out of 5 times 8 out of 8 minus second fraction multiplying first denominator. 3 out of 8 times 5 out of 5. Please don't forget your whole number. One whole number plus 4 times 8 giving us 32 out of 5 times 8, 40 minus 3 times 5, 15 out of 8 times 5, 40. Another interesting step. We have the same denominator. So what do? We subtract the numerators. Please don't forget to move along with your whole number. 1 plus 32 minus 15, all out of 40. Let's continue here. Please don't forget your whole number once again. One whole number plus 32 minus 15 gives us 17 out of 40. There is no number that can divide 17 at the same time 40. This means that we cannot reduce our fraction. So we add it to the whole number. So our final answer becomes one whole number, 17 out of 40. Very simple. Very, very simple. Brings us to the end of the lesson for the day. I hope you really enjoyed it. Kindly help a friend by sharing the video or the YouTube channel to all your friends you know. I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell so that anytime I post a new video, you'll be the first to have it. I leave you with these exercises. Kindly solve it and post it under my YouTube comments. Cheers. All the best.